Hey everyone, my name is Kabi and today I'm going to show you the light game. At last, I don't really have a lot of games for the light faction on the channel I noticed recently, so I was about to record one and actually I forgot to switch the voicing to English, but still I decided to go for this video. But this is played on quite an old map. I think I mentioned this already in the previous video. This map is one of the oldest we have in the game. It has actually the number 4. Probably it doesn't really mean we build it fourth, but it still was one of the very first and one of the very best out of the first maps. We'll also have a little bug, and we have it actually live right now with the mana well, but in fact they work. You'll see it later what's wrong with it. And in this game I'm playing against Lixo. This is how his nickname is meant to be pronounced, as it is the Russian word. I don't know the exact translation for this, honestly. Something like swiftly. And we both play light, as I'm the red light. That means that my opponent is light as well, because the blue is the core color for the light. Just as if you are the blue dark player, that means that the enemy is the dark too. But if you are the red player for dark or blue player for light, that doesn't mean anything about your enemy. But only useful if you missed the loading screen, which I didn't do. I knew that I was playing against the light, and my idea in this game was to try to use more swordsmen. I don't really like the stuff that is hanging around the community, that swordsman is kind of useless. Even though the strong players admit that swordsmen can be sometimes useful in the particular cases, such as against snipers. I still like to use the things that the other players don't, like alchemist goons or swordsmen with something. I didn't really decide prior to the game what I'm gonna use them with, but once I proceeded to the second tier, I thought I'd be going with the paladin and then react to what I see. And I don't really see much here. I see a late tier 2 and also his swordsman relating to my base, so I was thinking that probably that he had something hidden from me, probably in the top part of the map. So this is why I'm sending this swordsman, and I'm not really pursuing his unit, probably with only one swordsman, which I'm gonna pull back soon. And at the same time, my altar of heroes ready, I'm starting my paladin. You could notice that I also cancelled one of my swordsmen to have enough food. Then I'm adding another farm, and I'll be going with even more swordsmen. So I pretty much play the swordsman and the paladin for now. I also thought you can see how the fire elemental is in the field, but the mana well is inside the trees, which is a weird bug. We are not really sure how did it happen, but we're gonna fix it soon. Just a funny thing to notice. And anyways, I was about to take the both watchtowers. Why is that? I don't really wanna be catch with the pants down, you know, because I don't have any kind of anti-air. So I will leave my enemy ghost copters. I'll need to be really quick reacting. So I want to have as many map control as I can, but I was able to seize one of the watchtowers, but the other I couldn't make quick enough because it is almost 5th minute markers. And if you build as many units, you probably want to at least capture the chests. Or at least capture the one chest, but better the two. But we can see how Lixo started to go Warsmith. I was able to scout his Dwarven Forge prior to this, so I knew he was about to go there. But now we have info confirmed. He could actually skip Warsmith and go something like Bombardier straight, or probably even Bikers. And now we see the Copter. That means that I have to put the crossbow tower immediately and also add the Elven tree, but I don't have enough resources right now, so I'm making sure to take the chest. I'm also sending the units to his base, because I want to win a bit of time. I don't really want his copters to be rallied into my place, so I want to buy time, and I can afford it probably to spend a couple of swordsmen, as I have even more here in my base. And I'm also adding the sanctuary to add a few healers, which is obviously very useful when you have so many living units in your army. Alright, so I'm about to see if I can really make something happen here, and we can see a late Altar of Heroes. So he has the production nearly equal to mine, but I went for the factory significantly later. But my second rocks was earlier. Not sure what's really better, but I really like to have a hero out earlier. And here my own copters come out, and also the Elven tree is ready, but I'm supply capped, which is really unluckily. Anyway, I'm about to try to creep the mid chest with the tower. I don't really have any anti-air, but I'm trying to drag him back and forth and see if I can make something done with making him to retreat, but now we can see he only goes forward with the copters, and that is actually not the hardest part for me, because I simply use the gravity, because I didn't save that mana well for nothing, right? So as far as I have the mana well, I can use the expensive scroll, so I use the gravity scroll, and here comes a chest for my name. So even though I started with plainly no anti-air, nobody in my army could attack air, and my enemy opened straight into the copters. As far as he wasn't too decisive with his copters, we can see how this actually turns into my favor. And what I personally think is that you have a copter from the fast factory, or the aeronaut from the fast workshop if you play dark, you really have to go to your enemy base with your first flying unit, because it can't happen like they don't have a defense ready by that time, and you can really capitalize on that. And Lixo really missed that opportunity, and what we have now, obviously he has bikers out, but I get the mid chest. I also have this tower ready, so I have the position to play from, and I obviously keep rallying my archers towards this place, so I'm not really about to let him do his thing. I try to kinda finish off that biker, because the next chest in a minute, so I don't really want to have biker back near to that chest. And what I really need to go is to grip that chest with some kind of secondary units. We can see him moving towards that position too. Somehow I forgot to take the archers along with the paladin. I also sent a swordsman to seize that watchtower once again. And it is now 25 seconds to the chests. I'm also casually sending the copters to probably take down the Dwarven tower. But actually we can see how he also built the Elven towers. My copters ain't gonna do much. but they did quite a bit of damage to the archers. And Lixo also built a princess, which is actually a good thing. He will be able to finish off the paladin, and archers receive a lot of damage too. I made another mana tower because I want to be able to use more expensive scrolls. I actually thought if I can already use a meteorite on the towers, but then I suddenly realized that I didn't build a second one, the second mana tower, so it's not the case yet. And right now he has enough to probably break this position, and he even uses the magic blast. He actually has his mana well too, so he has quite a bit of mana to work with. But at the same time I'm sending the units to the chests, and the bottom left is already being captured right now. And the top right, I only send a worker. There is a simple hint: if you have to send a worker or a unit to the chest, if you don't really wait your opponent to stand there against you. So if you have more than 1k wood, you probably want to send a worker, because you won't lose many important resources because you're already high on wood. And if you are short on wood, probably you prefer to send a unit. So now that I built the second mana well, I can use a meteorite. They hit the bikers, and all the bikers are on the low HP now. The princess also crits one of them. And in the meantime, Lixo captured my mana well, which is a good thing to do for him, of course. I also use the fan of arrows on all of his units. I try to retreat with my princess, not to let him to finish it off. His copters go down, and it seems that his princess has more HP than mine. I pull back a little bit, but still the swordsman. Actually, the swordsman applies a lot of chaos in the battle, because Lixo has the good units, but they are not many. And a lot of my swordsmen just keep running across the battlefield, hitting the bikers, randomly hitting the archers, and I really think they do a good job. I also made a screenshot to report that mana well issue. So that's what you guys seen. This is how the fixing started. I'm not sure why my princess went that way, by the way. And well, it is 13 minutes, so quite a bit of time still before the chests coming up. But I already sent in another unit. I believe that was a worker, not really sure. And I also want to take this one. The mana well we can't see, but we know it's there. And as I am supply capped, I'm obviously wanna try to trade. My enemy can have as many as I, or probably less, because I strongly doubt that he is up to 4 farms, but we actually see that he has a castle fort. So in the game I didn't notice that, I believe. Now I can see, but anyway, I am capped, so I don't want to let him get more. So of course I am attacking, and we can clearly see that I has much more. So I keep adding the archers a bit, solely because he had a lot of bikers, and bikers can cut swordsmen, so you can somewhat have a mix, I believe. Also, of course, swordsmen are very vulnerable to the magic damage, so if your enemy can control the scrolls somehow and mana wells somehow, probably you don't want to have a lot of those, but we don't have way too many mana to work with, so I think that swordsman did a great job in this battle. I didn't turn into guardsman as many players would do, and I still felt like this went fine. So probably you can try this out too and let me know how it works. And for today that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the game. Bye bye.